Now we're good.
Fats.com, 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 fats.com.
What's up, all you gym rats, athletes, pretty muscles, super jocks? You can be a pipsqueak or a sports freak, weak as a kitten, as strong as an ox. Regardless, if you're health conscious, us Americans are free. And sometimes we make decisions that land us on TV. Sometimes we say fuck you to county rules and overreach. Sometimes we preach our beliefs while not acting like sheep. Sometimes we teach those who think posing in the mirror with a mask on is normal that just because it's new doesn't mean that it's moral to require a masking up on the machines during strenuous exercise. I'm surprised you're not apologizing to those patronized until they died by breathing in too much carbon dioxide. Auto-retarded asphyxiation, that's what it is. You got arrested thrice for refusing idiocy, and now you've lost your biz? Fitness 40 lives on. You fought the good fight. I'm so happy Governor DeSantis promised to pardon you live on Laura Ingraham the other night. Now, my guests on tonight's Tuesday evening stream are Mike and Jill Carnevale, husband and wife, business owners arrested for not enforcing mask laws. They sued Broward County over their mandate of masks. They were targeted by the crooked South Florida politicians who slithered into power in that county. Now with Florida wide open and many people flooding here for refuge from liberal shitholes, where do we go? A business was lost. People's lives were either ruined or royally inconvenienced. We will talk about that and much more on tonight's Bobby Pickles Podcast.
Bobby Pickles Podcast.
That's me.
Yeah, what's up? Thank you so much. I appreciate having you. The
Thanks for having
Carnevales.
us. Hell of an introduction. Thank you so much, man. Thank you.
Well, I had to make up for yesterday's podcast. Yesterday's podcast was stream of consciousness style. I did it while drinking during the day, no preparation whatsoever. So I felt inclined to redeem myself, and that's why I did that poem for you guys. And I meant every word of it. You guys have been royally inconvenienced, I guess. I mean, to take it lightly, your business has been infringed on. Now, tell me a little bit about your husband and wife, and you're a business owner in South Florida. Is that right?
That's correct. We were, at this moment in time, we're former business owners, but we'll be right back at it.
Right, and you were you owned a gym in Plantation. Is that correct?
That's correct. So smack dab in the middle of Broward County, we had an 18,000 square foot, 24-hour gym. We were the best in South Florida. We were up and coming. Everyone knew it. And we were doing a lot of volume when the South Florida bureaucrats took that away from us.
And I detect a Boston accent of some kind. Where the Boston region are you from?
We are from Lowell, Massachusetts. So 40 minutes north of Boston. Tough city, but that's what got us through this,
Oh yeah, well listen, people from Massachusetts, anybody from the Northeast have thick skin because you have to deal with brutal cold. That's why there's so many hilarious people that come out of that area, right?
It's true. It's true, man. It's definitely true.
Yeah. So you guys had to keep your wits about you. You had to keep your your positive spirits going through all this. Take me back a little bit now. I saw this. I don't know if it's the first one or the second. This is the second, I believe, time you were arrested, Mike. Hold on one sec. Let me show this. This, I believe, is the second time you were in, and they talked about it in the paper. Gym owner arrested again in Broward over face masks. Plantation, Florida. Early Friday, Plantation police were parked outside of 1440 Fitness, letting members know the gym is closed, and for now, they'll have to work out somewhere else. The gym's owner, Mike Carnevale, spent Thursday night in Broward County Jail over his refusal to enforce the use of masks inside the business. This is the second time Plantation Police Department officers arrested Carnevale, 31, over a violation of Broward County's emergency order, which requires people to wear face masks to help reduce the spread of the contagious disease. And then they have a
The self-propelled cordless lawnmower cuts non-stop for up to 2 miles.
Oh,
Now
man.
get 2 free batteries.
Shut up.
About a Plantation gym owner arrested again for defying the county's mask orders.
This is the second time officers have handcuffed Michael Carnevale outside his gym. Local 10's Ian Margol is live in Fort Lauderdale with the latest on this battle over masks. Ian.
He is saying he feels it's just not fair for him to force his members to wear a mask. And as you said, this is now the second time he has been arrested for doing so.
In the back of that police car is Mike Carnevale, owner of 1440 Fitness in Plantation, once again being arrested for violating Broward County's emergency order that requires people to wear masks at all times inside of gyms.
Where do we draw the lines? This is just, we've lost perspective. We've lost common sense.
That was Carnevale back in July before his first arrest for ignoring the mask mandate. And on Thursday, he called Local 10 to tell us he was about to be taken into custody again for the same reason, saying he didn't feel it was right to force his members to wear masks if they didn't want to.
It's kind of disappointing again that this is happening. This is the second time that it's happened where I've come here to try to work out, and I'm hearing that the owner of the gym got arrested again.
This man, who only wanted to be identified as AJ, showed up to the gym a few hours after Carnevale's arrest and was frustrated by the news that the gym must now be shut down for 4 days.
I understand that, we all have rules and laws to abide by. However, it's kind of complicated and it's kind of annoying for this to keep going on with small businesses. I mean, I understand he's just trying to run his business. Some people, like he said before, I can't make one of my patrons, run on the treadmill with a mask on their face.
So according to health experts and doctors, masks are one of the easiest way to prevent the spread of COVID-19, regardless of whether or not someone is feeling symptoms of the virus, or if they think it's too difficult to work out in. It is still a rule. It is a mandate by the county, and that is a legal thing that the county is allowed to do. Local governments are allowed to make these sort of mandates during a health crisis. Now, Carnevale is spending the evening in jail. We'll keep you posted on his story. As soon as we get any updates on his case, we will let you know. Live in Fort Lauderdale tonight, I'm Ian Margot, Local 10 News.
Wow, man, that is crazy. I don't know.
It's surreal, man. It's so surreal to even hear that article and hear myself speaking from 10 months ago. It feels like a lifetime ago. It's crazy. It's crazy.
What do the people back home in Lowell, Massachusetts think of what's going on down here in Florida?
Probably mixed reactions, but some of them are like, yeah, go get him. Go get him. Other people are probably like, oh, this guy again. He moved away. I don't want to hear about him. I don't want to think about him. Yet every time I turn on my TV, it's just more Mike Carnevale. So a mixed bag, but I think most people were pretty supportive. Just the idea that people would wear a mask while working out. I mean, you'd have to be like next level unreasonable to think that that's a good, fair restriction. So I think it's a nonpartisan message that a lot of people can get behind. That was a stupid restriction, and nobody should be doing that.
No, nobody should be doing that. It doesn't make any sense whatsoever. I mean, when you're working out, how can you wear a mask? Like, oh my God, if you're exerting yourself even in the least, I've felt it, taking groceries in or something like that, or whatever you're doing, you're working a little bit, and you have to put that on. I feel bad for the people that have to work all the time and wear the masks. You go to like some food place or some eatery, you go to fast food or something, and these people have to wear masks all day long. It's so crazy. That would be horrible. But to have to wear a mask while you're working out, just like you said, that's completely unreasonable. Makes no sense whatsoever. And so they passed this crazy law that doesn't even make reasonable sense. And you guys are coming from one of the places that have the most unreasonable laws. Actually, you guys have blue laws up there in Mass. So, and I know that because I have family in Connecticut, so it's pretty crazy. But talk about being, just an asinine law. And it's not even a law; it's a mandate, right?
Yeah, big difference. Being that Congress didn't vote on it, we didn't vote on it. Nobody ever would. That's probably why they did it. It's intentionally vague to begin with. Listen to this. From a logistical standpoint, we had a 24-hour gym, and we were unstaffed for 8 hours a night. Who's going to be in my gym at 3 a.m. making sure these people weren't wearing masks? It just wasn't possible. These mandates were meant for you to get tripped up on. They were meant to be hard to understand. We're busy running a gym where you have to worry about marketing, operations, branding, management, managing your staff, managing your members. Now all of a sudden you get this big, thick 19-page mandate. You got to pay a lawyer to read it or thumb through it yourself. It's just a bunch of bullshit. It's a bunch of bullshit. You're trying to service your community, and then you have your government making a mockery out of your industry, We're doing public health, and then based on no science, they come out with this mandate saying you have to block your oxygen holes while you're working out. Just someone make it make sense for me,
Well, you remember the influenza pictures of like the 1800s. Everybody's wearing masks. So it must be normal, right?
I guess so. If they did it 200 years ago, then, it makes it normal.
Exactly. So that was the first piece of media that you were in. Was it the second arrest that the media started paying attention to the story? Or was any attention, spotlighted on this the first time you were arrested?
The first bit of media we got was actually during the filing of the lawsuit. That was the most raw. Yeah, that was the most raw footage you have. I wasn't making much sense. But, it was just the first piece of media I ever did. But I think you have to start somewhere, Bobby. I'm sure you can relate. You start somewhere and then you just make constant improvements. But, yeah, the lawsuit was a media piece, then the first arrest, the second, then the third. And now it's just kind of led to this when we went national.
Wow, yeah, and it's just been. I saw you guys speak at the anti-mask burning, the mask burning that Chris Nelson had orchestrated. And actually, if you notice the title card for this particular episode, there you go. There's Chris Nelson right there. There's Chris, good old Chris. This picture was taken today. Is that right?
Yeah, that was today during a rally we had right after our court hearing after we were dismissed. And good times, man. Good times. You see Chris Nelson's shirt says it wrong. Mike Carnevale did nothing wrong. I feel strongly that I did nothing wrong. And Governor Ron DeSantis is in alignment with that.
Well, I made that shirt, just so you know. I don't know if he told you that.
No, he didn't.
See, I make T-shirts. See the Wuhan Wild Wings shirt? No, I printed that shirt as well. He's such a scum. I was going to ask you, because he is such a scum, how are you friends with this person? And by the way, I'm just saying it's just jest. I call my best friend scum, so it's kind of like an inside joke or whatever. But how do you you're pretty good friends with this character at this point?
Yeah, so Chris and I, we've been kind of fighting the good fight down here in Broward County, a very communist, socialist, blue county. And one thing I really got to say is that, the Democrats stick together. So anyone who opposes them, if you're independent, if you're conservative, if you're a Republican, whatever you want to call yourself, you better stick together because the Democrats are really smart and they're going to stick together. So I think forgiveness and patience is a big thing, especially when it comes to people like Chris. But knowing that genuinely he is just a good person at heart, as much as he'll drive you crazy and he'll drive you up a wall. I think you just got to forgive him when he's going off the wall and stick together, man.
Yeah. So you met Chris, through this whole thing that
at the filing of the lawsuit. Actually, believe it or not, at the filing of the lawsuit is the day we met Chris Nelson.
Oh, thanks for bringing it back to that. I lost track of where we were in the story. Thank you. So you filed a lawsuit after the first time you were arrested. Is that right?
No. So we filed a lawsuit. We had this rally on a Friday, and that's when I met Chris Nelson. The lawsuit got filed Sunday night. On Monday morning, Broward County Police are at my gym, not to have a discussion, but to tell me to close. They said that one person in the gym wasn't wearing a mask while they were working out. So, go ahead.
No. So this the politics came first. Which came first, the chicken or the egg? The politics came first.
Politics. Yeah.
Wow. So you started getting into politics a little bit. You started, wanting to push back on this mandate, and then in order to teach you a lesson, they came in, shut you down, arrested you multiple times, and wow, it's crazy. That's some crazy stuff. What are we dealing with here? Have you ever seen something so twisted as politics in South Florida? It is pretty crooked down here.
Yeah, it's pretty crooked, and it's kind of hidden behind the fact that it's like a fairly well-governed red state. And then there's just like the red-headed step cousin of Broward County where like nobody wants to talk about it. No one wants to address it. And it's like, well, just, it's a throwaway county. Like, let's just give up on Broward County. And it's just run by imbeciles. So to put things into context, we have 2.2 million people in Broward County. We would be the 11th, the 39th biggest state in the country if we were a state by population. So it's not like you can just be like, oh, well, it's a small little county. No, we're talking about millions of people here who have to deal with the political climate of just idiocracy. It's crazy.
Yeah, and I'm in Palm Beach, so Palm Beach County. So out of the 3 South Florida counties, Dade, I think like you're right. Broward kind of is like right in the middle. It's like that middle child that just gets like slapped and totally nobody really pays attention to the middle child. I don't know if that's true or not, but I don't know. It's kind of like that. You guys, I don't know. Why did you move to Broward County from Mass? Why'd you decide that out of all the area in Florida?
So we bought a gym, and we just knew we wanted to be in Florida. We had a deal up in Jacksonville that fell apart. and then we had a good deal in Broward County, we weren't necessarily like, let's move to Broward County. It was more like, hey, these numbers down here work. Let's get to Fort Lauderdale. We actually, to be honest, weren't very political people heading into all this stuff. So we knew Broward County was a shit show, but a lot of people don't understand, how bad things really are until it's impacting you. So.
Yeah. So then you find yourself down here. And how does it feel to be a business owner? I'm a business owner. I just said I printed that T-shirt. I own a Fat Enzo T-shirts here in West Palm Beach. And being a business owner, I'll say, it's pretty interesting to meet all these different walks of life. Because if you imagine you made custom shirts, how many different business owners need uniforms or something like that, right?
Everyone.
How many different people have brands of their own or something like that? There's all kinds of different people, all different walks of life. I'd imagine it's kind of similar in the gym business. So many different people work out, so many people different exercise. Tell me about that. Tell me about being a business owner. Was this the first time you were a business owner? Did you decide to just buy this gym? Did you have another venture in the past or anything like that? Are you new to being an entrepreneur?
My experience was in real estate sales. So I started selling residential. Basically, I was a broker in my 20s, and that led to me buying some investment properties. That led to me holding some investment properties. I did 5 flips. So I had experience in business, managing funds, managing contractors, things like that. But this was our first brick and mortar business. And I got to say, I probably could have just started with a lemonade stand. This was a $31,000 a month lease. It was not child's play by any means. It was a pretty hefty project, but I'm on the journey, man. I'm on the journey. So.
Oh my God, a $31,000 nut every month. That is insanity. That's a lot. So, God, you got to build that. This was a pre-existing gym, though. The gym was already there when you guys.
The gym was losing $18,000 a month when we took it over. So it was a mission. It was a mission to get the thing just back to breaking even, and then to turn a profit. And when the rent's $31,000 a month, that's before common area maintenance, which is usually $4,000. That's before electricity, which is usually $3,000. That's before. That's before any payroll. You need cleaners, front desk, toilet paper, things. So, it was all in all probably about $55,000 a month. And that's with us absorbing management responsibilities, a little bit of cleaning, a little bit of front desk, chipping in everywhere. So yeah, $55K a month to run that place. It was really no joke. And when you consider Planet Fitness doing gym memberships for $10 a month, think about coming up with $55,000 worth of gym memberships. It's no joke.
Whoa, 55,000 because I'm the worst.
We were 30 a month to make things easy on you. We were 30 a month. Divided
by 10 equals. Yeah, you need you need that many. Yeah, just to survive, you would need so many different people. You need so many people to be coming there. Wow.
And a lot of personalities, a lot of opinions. Which it's the beauty of being in a people business. You love it, but at the same time, when you're in your business, you literally make one move and you have 17 phone calls and 17 people you've never even met before, because it's a 24-hour gym. Hey, I'm here at 2 a.m. and you moved the squat rack over 10 feet. What the fuck? I'm canceling. And it's like, you love it because you love people. I mean, you seem like a people person yourself, and I'm sure you would enjoy something like that, but it does come at a cost. It does come at a cost.
Yeah. So what kind of personalities went through there, huh? Was it kind of like a reality show running that business?
100%. No, yeah, 100%. I mean, you name it, they got it. There's certain people that walk in the gym and you're literally scrambling for your phone. You're like, I'm on a call. Please just go work out, please. So super happy people. All walks of life. It's cool, man. That's the cool part about owning a gym. It's badass. I can't wait to get back into the industry.
But when you owned this gym, when you started the venture, this was pre-COVID, correct?
Yes.
Okay. And so then COVID hits, and then tell me what happens. COVID hits and it starts getting more difficult. Do people even come in to work out at all when it first starts?
So when we closed our doors due to COVID, we didn't really know what we were in for, but we knew that we wanted to be the best gym in South Florida. So I had two good friends of mine who were sick of Massachusetts winter fly down, and they helped me out just for the love of just getting out of the cold and helping out their friend. We were in that gym 7 days a week, probably on average of what? How long? 6 hours?
6 hours.
6 hours a day. And we had a list. I have a notebook somewhere where we have a list of the things that we did.
Multiple notebooks.
There was not 1 inch of that gym that we didn't turn over. So when we reopened, it was like a new gym, new layout, new paint, new music, new website. So when we reopened, it was like a bang. We signed up 700 people in the first 90 days. It was explosive. We turned over a brand new clientele because the people that wanted to get right back into the gyms after COVID, well, after the financial lockdown, I should say, were all younger people. So we took all the young people from all of our competitors. We started just blasting hip hop and stuff like that. Really just kind of honing in on a certain type of client. And we were just rocking it, man. We were just rocking it.
And that type of client was a Patriot client? Or
no.
Had nothing to do with politics.
Nothing to do with politics. There were some Patriots, but honestly, I was going to say a pretty moderate crowd. Broward County's pretty blue. We had left of centers there that were open-minded people. We had right of center people. We had some people that were pretty far right too, that were like really, really tolerant of all the different opinions.
Everybody was very tolerant.
Everyone was just, man, we were just there to become our best versions. That's the one thing that everyone had in common. We didn't give a shit about what color your skin was or what, religion or, we didn't give a shit about any of that.
Oh, it's kind of like a barbershop in that sense, right? Like just having.
Yeah, man. Yeah.
You guys have like conversations about politics, on the floor. People talk about everything in a gym, right?
Everything. Yeah, there were political conversations, but it wasn't particularly that. But yeah, for sure. We were talking politics, sports, which is less relevant these days. With the MLB going woke and, you can't get through a football game without them being like, here's some liberal propaganda. Can you take it? People aren't really watching this shit anymore, Bobby. People don't really give a shit about what Al Michaels thinks about the election. And, sports is kind of dead right now. So, yeah, we were talking about everything. We were talking about life, man,
Mm-hmm. And then, so how does this begin as far as, okay, you use the downtime of the COVID to revamp the whole business. That's great. You do a positive out of it. Then they reopen, people start coming in, working out. When do you start having problems with, the mass, it just happens because of the politics? When do you decide to file that lawsuit and stuff and then get into the whole political thing?
2 months after we opened. So everything was good. They mandated 50% capacity, and we managed. They mandated the staff had to wear them. We didn't like it, but we managed. Temperature checks at the door. I thought it was stupid and intrusive, but we did it, 2 months after we opened, everything was good. Everything was crispy good. They mandated the mask while exercising. This came after the gyms were open. It was unwarranted. It was not backed by science. It was just the dumbest thing ever. All of a sudden, people were like canceling like crazy. Because think about it. I mean, if you're at a gym, right, and you're into fitness, and all of a sudden the gym owners are like, hey, the government's telling us to tell you, you're going to be like, dude, fuck this. I'll go work out at the beach. They got a pull-up bar. They got a dip bar. I don't blame them. I mean, how many cancels did we take? How many people?
There were a lot of cancels, and what really hurt us was that there were only 2 counties in all of Florida that had this mask mandate while working out. So it was Miami-Dade and it was Broward County. So we had members, because we're in Central Broward, who were like, you know what? I'm just going to go up to Boca. I'm just going to go get a gym membership in Palm Beach County, and I don't have to wear the mask. So it was a situation where we couldn't compete with gyms that are 20 minutes up the road.
Yeah, I'm familiar with the area. You're right. And I was in Palm Beach County. It's a little more laxed here. It seems like the more south you go in the South Florida metro area, the more communist it was during the heyday of the COVID when it first started, But okay, so you start getting a lot of people canceling, and then what? And then who mandates this? By the way, who mandated this?
That's County Administrator Bertha Henry and the 9 Broward County commissioners just pulled it out of their ass. And why they targeted gyms 2 months after we reopened, despite the fact that there was no data saying that we were spreading COVID, I don't know. But it was the 9 Broward County commissioners and the County Administrator Bertha Henry that made the decision.
Okay. Do you know anybody that has died of COVID?
I don't know anyone that's died of COVID. I know people that have died with COVID. You fall out of a building and, you die on impact and, they'll call it a COVID death. They'll put a swab in your nose and, you get hit by a car. I know people that have died with COVID for sure.
Yeah. And Jillian, you know either? Nobody?
No, I don't know anyone.
Do you think that part of this could be the fact that it hasn't hit home and you don't know anybody personally that has died of COVID? I mean, I'll just tell you one thing right now, okay? I'm definitely right of center person. I even, with Chris Nelson, I organized an anti-mask flash mob at the mall, okay? So I am not, I've definitely, I didn't want to believe COVID was real, but very recently my grandfather passed away of COVID, and it was, People immediately have this knee-jerk reaction when they're on the right, where they go, "Oh, how old was he? Oh, what other conditions do they have?" They don't want to believe it's real. They immediately put up their. It's just like what liberals do, how liberals act, but it's the opposite. So I think that on both sides, weird things happen when you get into this herd mentality, and I got caught up with it too. Do you think that? If you knew somebody very close to you pass away that would change your perception of what's going on and maybe your perception of how you dealt with this in the first place?
It definitely would have changed my perception of that for sure. But as far as wearing a mask while working out, I don't think that if I had known someone personally that would have died of COVID, I would have felt different. Now, if you had brought me science that said, "Hey, Mike, check this out. Gyms are places where COVID is spread because of X, Y, and Z. Here's the data." That's a different story. So would my perception be changed if I knew someone that died with COVID, of COVID? Yes, it would. Would that have made my decisions different? It's impossible to say, but I probably would have needed to see some type of facts to make me feel like, you know what? Let's tell our customers to mask up.
That's a reasonable answer, Mike. And you being from the Northeast, and I've seen it too, being up, in Connecticut and stuff. It is a lot more locked down up there. And have you gone back and forth at all? Have you been back home and seen the difference between how people handle COVID up there versus down here?
Yeah, so I go up every summer to say hi to my family and catch some of the nicer weather. And to be honest, I saw more compliance in Massachusetts than I did down here. People walking around in parks with masks on and stuff like that. But I'd say it was fairly similar.
You think so?
Just from what I saw in my hometown versus what I see in Broward County. Now that's not like looking at data or anything like that. That's just I walk into a store in Broward County and they're telling me to put it on. I walk into a store in Lowell and they're telling me to put it on. So, that's just what I saw.
And one thing that I did notice is when we went to Salem, Mass, it was around Halloween in October. They had these outdoor areas where they were mask zones. That's what they called it, mask zones. Outside, in open air, you were required to wear a mask while walking around in the city.
Yeah.
So that was a little different.
Yeah. There's a lot of craziness. These things they don't really seem to make any sense. I don't think they're really saving any lives, really. But when you were, okay, so you didn't require any of your patrons to wear masks, but did you have any feeling towards people that decided to wear masks? Were there people that decided to wear masks at your gym?
For sure. Yes, definitely. And, I kept it to myself. I thought it might have been a little strange, but listen, I'm a libertarian, so I don't personally, I don't care. I mean, you could wear a spacesuit for all I care. And, as long as you're happy, you're enjoying my product, you're enjoying, a product that I put a lot of energy into. And that was cool for me. You weren't disturbing any of the other members. I mean, why would I care? It didn't bother me at all. This wasn't a no mask zone. It was a let us breathe while working out zone.
Let everybody make their own decision zone.
That seems fair,
I think so. Now, some people say that you were pardoned due to white privilege. What are your thoughts on that?
I think that's a narrative just because, we were white. It was just more white shaming, which you're starting to see more of as time goes on. But if we weren't white, I mean, the article wouldn't have been there. And I still think that I would have been pardoned. I think that Governor Ron DeSantis looked at the fairness of it and the logics of it. And I think he made the decision based on the fact that Broward County was persecuting me. I don't think he made the decision like, hey, let me take these white people and appeal to a certain voter base. Those are my thoughts.
Do you actually think that like Broward County has like a vendetta against you? Because Chris Nelson, just a little bit of a secret here. I did talk to him right before this. I did a little pre-interview. I was asking him some stuff, some inside baseball stuff. He said something about a fundraiser and a Black Lives Matter voting card or something like that. What is that about? Do you think Broward County has a vendetta against you?
Yeah, Broward County has a vendetta against me because I filed a lawsuit. I don't know if it's because of a race issue, but yeah, there was a political flyer, and it was Black Votes Matter, Black Unity. But I think that's a little bit of minutia when you really consider the main issue with that particular campaign flyer was that judges, Congress people, and commissioners were all on the same political flyer. To me, it's unethical for a judge to be representing a political party more so than, hey, Black Unity. You'd have to pull a Candace Owens or a Bevelyn Beatty on the show to get an opinion on that. I just think that it was immoral for judges to be on a flyer with politicians. I thought that was a little bit twisted.
Okay, a little bit about the eviction. So the landlord evicted you. Right after DeSantis issued the law condemning business closures in late September. Then the next week, there was an eviction notice on the door. Why was that? You didn't have a good relationship with the landlord? Was this due to politics?
No, well, maybe a little bit, but so during our 3-month lockdown, there was $93,000 worth of debt. Right, when you're not doing business, you're not generating revenue. So we were paying off back rent, and we did have a court-ordered payment plan structured. We were exceeding those expectations. We were paying back rent quicker, and they used the remainder of the balance after our third arrest to get Broward County to sign off on that. So I don't know if it was politics or more so they wanted us out for perhaps other reasons. I do talk to people in that plaza, and everyone's either leaving, being evicted, getting booted out. So many of us feel like maybe that building is going to get knocked down in the next year or so, and they're using the pandemic. That's hearsay. I can't say that that's a fact, but and that's neither here nor there. I mean, if the landlord wants people out and they're using COVID as a reason to do it, there's not much we can do about that. So
one thing I do want to add is that the judge that signed off on that writ of possession or the eviction notice was seen on that political flyer, the Democratic political flyer.
Oh man, these people are all corrupt. What is the thing? So basically okay. So Jillian, was this your idea, the parking lot idea, where you guys orchestrated, like you had like, a group full of people working out outside, and then a squad of armed police officers arrested you both. And then the plantation mayor starts, talking crap to you guys basically on your Facebook page. Is that right?
Yeah, that's pretty spot on.
Let me find that. I want to show that right there. Was it the... Nope, that's the third arrest. I'm sorry, I don't have my my guy here.
No, you're good. Don't be sorry. I got a 9 o'clock, so I got 6 minutes left. But
oh my God, really? Well, if that's true, then hold on one second. Let me just skip to the end right here. I really want to show this. Is this from last night? The Governor DeSantis on the Laura Ingraham.
that was on Wednesday. That was on Wednesday night.
That was on Wednesday? Okay, hold on one second.
Absurd COVID penalties.
All
And
outstanding
I believe it's
fines and penalties.
like right here.
Well, it's a total overreach, Laura. This is exactly what we ordered against last summer, many, many months ago. And so I was actually just recently briefed on this case, and we looked at it. And so I'm glad you have Mike and Jillian on. And I'm also glad to be on to be able to say that effective tomorrow morning, I'm going to sign a reprieve under my constitutional authority. So that'll delay the case for 60 days against both of them. And then when our clemency board meets in the coming weeks, we'll issue pardons not only for Mike and Jillian, but for any Floridian that may have outstanding infractions for things like masks and social distancing. The fact is,
Wow.
it's not even right to be wearing masks when you're exercising. The World Health Organization advises against it. It's not healthy for people to be doing that in the first place. So it was a bad restriction. But these things with health should be advisory. They should not be punitive. And so we're happy to use our constitutional authority. I think they've been treated poorly. And fortunately, they got a governor that cares.
Wow. How does that feel to the Carnevales?
Well, I want to ask you that. How does that feel?
Unbelievable, man. I mean, it was just like it was a very surreal moment where like it's like a surprise where everyone's in on it except for you. And then, you know, like people, your friends are all jumping out from the corner like surprise. And you're like,
You're just shocked.
You're like, holy shit.
Is your lawyer's beard? He's got a pretty nice beard, huh? Did you choose him based on his beard?
100%, man. I had to go with him. When I saw a beard like that, I knew he was going to fight.
Right. Okay, so what about politics for you in the future, Mike? Or Jillian?
I'm open.
What's that?
What about politics for
Politics
you
for me?
guys?
Oh, geez, I haven't really thought of getting into politics, to be completely honest. I think it could happen, but I have a lot of work to do to prepare.
And Mike, what do you think?
I'm open-minded to it. I think priority one for me right now is to get back into the gym industry. That's truly what I love to do. And I'm also looking to get a personal injury attorney and sue Broward County. But listen, man, I'm all about service. And if there's anything I can do to help my community, I'm all for that. If it's running for one of these seats, you know, like Jillian said, I would need some help to do so. But I'm game. I'm game, man. I'm game.
And then what people could do if they want to help you out in your whole endeavors here, they can go to your GoFundMe page.
Yeah, definitely. If they want to go right to my website, MikeCarnevale.com, MikeCarnevale. The whole story's there. We have some pretty cool and jaw-dropping arrest content. My social media is linked up there. And then you can go right to the GoFundMe from there. Anything that people could do, more than appreciated.
That's right. Thank you very much, guys. I know you guys got to go. I appreciate you for being on with me tonight. It was very inspiring and insightful, your story. I can't believe you guys are dealing with all that stuff, man. I'm so sorry, you know. But hey, at least you're not dealing with any, being banned on social media or anything like that. So hey, listen, do me a favor. The Carnevale it's Carnevale, is that right? Is that
Carnevale.
Is that an Italian background?
It is.
So do me a favor, just like everybody else out there. I've had such an enjoyable evening with you tonight. And if you guys, want to help out our fight to, against censorship, please like this, share it. There's a 20-year-old dork sitting in the back room at Google making decisions on who wins or loses in life because he learned how to code while living in his mommy's basement. So don't let him get away with that, please, for the love of Christ. Thank you guys so much.
Like it, share it. Don't let the fact checkers win. Get this content out there. Censorship is dangerous.
Adios.
Thank you so
Thank
much.
you.
Have a good one, Bobby.
Come on.
Bobby Pickles Podcast. He always says that's me. With that look on his face, he'll talk about